The fastest way to change anything is to change the pictures and words.
Be a friend to yourself. Practice kindness. Be nice. Yeah, I messed something up today, but it's okay. Tomorrow, I will do better.
I'm your mind, and I'm going to do what I think you want. And when you say, oh, this commute is killing me, my boss makes me want to die, my kids are making me go up the wall, I am stressed out of my mind by the freeway, your mind goes, oh, you keep telling me that something is killing you. It appears to be your job or your commute. Why don't I just give you a lovely ulcer, and then you can stay home and avoid that place that's killing you? That's its job. Why don't you do your job and talk to your mind better? The commute is a pain, but I have great CDs to listen to. I have stuff to do. My boss is difficult with everyone. It's not me. He's not there and I'm having sex with my wife. He's not in the room and I'm having a lovely dinner. This is temporary. He's an unhappy person. Do it better. You will get what you want when you tell your mind what you want. But here come the words. Let's imagine you're going to give a speech. And the words are, oh my God, I'm freaked out. I'm terrified. I'm going to go bright red out my mouth and go, oh, I haven't got the time right. I'm so nervous. Your mind goes, do not get on that stage. If you walk to that stage, I'm going to give you a massive panic in the middle of the room because you told me you don't want to do it, and I've got to do what you want. Or you can go, I am fantastic at speaking. I've got something to say. People like me. What I have to say is of value. Speaking to a stage is like speaking to my wife or husband. And then your mind goes, get on that stage and do it. You always have a choice, but your mind's job is to do what it thinks you want. When you go, I want a week off. Who's ever done this? What I would give for a week off lying in bed. Your mind goes, leave that with me. Now you got the flu. How cool am I? I listened to you. You wanted a week off lying around watching Netflix. Now you got it. That's not what you wanted. You need to say, I need some time, and I'm like a battery, I need to recharge, and I'm okay at working full out all week, because at weekends, I recharge like a battery. Now your mind understands, but saying, I'd give anything not to have to chair that meeting, your mind goes, how about a nice dose of diarrhea? I can bring that up for you. You don't want to chair that meeting? You said I'd do anything not to go. I'd rather kill myself than give that presentation to my boss. And I goes, oh, don't kill yourself. I just give you a really upset stomach. Now you can't even leave the bathroom. There's no chance you're meeting your boss. Done what you wanted. I know I'm making it funny, but it is funny that so many people don't understand your mind's job is to do what it thinks you want, and it bases that on one thing, the words you use and the pictures you put in your head. And here's some great news. You can change those words and change those pictures like that. And when you do that, it changes everything. The fastest way to change anything is to change the pictures and words. And it's such an easy thing to do. I'm terrified, I'm elated. I'm useless, I'm amazing. I have no memory, my memory is compelling. If you use powerful words, you'll have a powerful life. If you understand the rules of the mind and put them into practice, you will be running the ship.
A lot of us get very confused with our mind and think that we should control our mind, and our mind is like sabotaging us, and actually your mind is often sabotaging you in 3 different ways. And when you can understand what's really going on between your mind sabotaging you, then you can stop it. I've always believed you can't fix what you don't understand. And understanding is power. And many people say, oh, you know, my mind, and I can't control stuff, and I'm just out of control, and I can't change. I've always been like this. And that's not true. When you can look at what runs you, your wiring, and make sense of it, you can also overcome it. So this is one of the most powerful ways that your mind could sabotage you before you understand it and change it. And I've always found that this realization is life-changing. So here's the number 1 way your mind sabotages you. You are hardwired and super coded to run away from what is unfamiliar and to run back to what is familiar. What does that mean? Well, it means that 500 years ago, what made you safe, what guaranteed that you could survive on the planet, was staying with the familiar and avoiding the unfamiliar. Nobody who lived in a walled city or indeed a fort in the Wild West would go out for a walk late at night or go, oh, I think I'm going to meet some new people, I'm a bit bored. What made you safe was same old, same food, same people, same environment. And your primitive mind understands this: the familiar makes me safe. And if you've ever seen 2-year-old kids, they'll say, I don't like that, it's got lumps in it. I don't want that, it's different. That's the wrong spoon, the wrong cup, the wrong story. They only like one doll, one teddy. They want the same story every night. They won't eat stuff they don't know or recognize because their primitive mind at the age of 2 says if you only eat what you already know, you'll make it. And now 25 years pass and we find ourselves liking the same type of person, destructive, a heartbreaker, absent. We find ourselves going for what's familiar. And nothing makes this more clear than this study. 70% of lottery winners will go bankrupt in 3 years if they haven't had a familiar relationship with money. If they've only ever just made enough to pay the bills and had nothing left, then they will find it very hard to invest that money and keep that money. So how do you get around that? Well, first of all, understand it. Okay, I've sat on the couch for so long eating potato chips and watching TV, I've forgotten that my body's designed to run and jump and move. I've had my heart broken so many times that I now just expect that. Every job I'm in has never worked out. So it is an absolute fact that you are hardwired and supercoded to go back to what you know and avoid what you don't know. Here is the second way your mind can sabotage you, and it's a biggie. You know, 500 years ago, we died from rejection. We lived in a tribe. If they cast you out, banished you, rejected you, marooned you, isolated you, that was a fate worse than death, because it was kind of like death in Romeo and Juliet when they said, we are banishing you outside the city walls. He said, well, I'd rather be killed. There's nothing out there but purgatory. So we've come onto the planet with a fear of rejection, because it wasn't that long ago that we died from rejection. But now we don't die from rejection. Now safety isn't a numbers game. We don't need to live in a big tribe and to know we belong. We can live on our own and make it to 102. But we still feel as if rejection will kill us. And you know how this is real? Listen to some songs. I'll die if you leave me. I can't live without you. My life is over without you. You're the only one for me. I can't go on. I can't live if living is without you. Well, none of that's true. Most people have been in a lovely relationship, got dumped, it hurts, and they find someone else. I've been dumped. I'm sure you've been dumped. I had my heart broken. I guess you have too. But then we found someone even better. So you have to not fear rejection. People say to me, you know, I want to be a speaker, but I'm terrified of going on stage. I want to be an actor, but what if I get rejected? Well, what if you get rejected? Who cares? Look at your life. How much have you been rejected? That kid at school that rejected you, the first job that fired you, the person that dumped you, but you're still here. Rejection can be the best thing that ever happens to you if you can bounce back. And here's the third way that we sabotage ourselves. We tell ourselves lies and we believe them. I can't cope. I'm in overwhelm. I'm dying under the pressure. This stress is killing me. This job will be the death of me. These kids will be the death of me. This is killing me, driving me crazy, making me go insane. You see, this is not true. If you are prepared to lie to yourself on a daily basis, I'm a big fat pig, I haven't slept for a week, I'm exhausted, my headache is killing me. If you're prepared to lie to yourself, which is okay, we all do it, at least tell yourself a better lie. I'm amazing, I have phenomenal coping skills, challenging clients teach me the best. I have a super fast metabolic rate. I'm magnetically lovable. And people say that's not true. Neither is saying stress is killing me, I eat like a pig, I'm an out of control train wreck. None of them are true, but you might as well tell yourself a better lie. I can only tell you it will change your entire life. Now, you've heard of Stockholm Syndrome, where people attach themselves to their captives to feel safe. In Homeland, Brody attached himself to his captors. And that happens. We attach ourselves to people because of our fear of rejection, our need to stay with what is familiar, and our ability to respond to the lies we tell ourselves. And with coronavirus, we've got this whole thing now where it's actually become so familiar to be at home that something, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to cope now. I've got used to lounging around, lying on the sofa, not pushing myself, not going out, and now I'm going out, it's feeling unfamiliar. So we have to make what was comfortable, uncomfortable, what is uncomfortable, comfortable. Listen to yourself talk. Imagine you're recording your own thoughts and notice how much you say, well, that was a fluke. I don't know how I did that. I don't know if I can do that again. You know, and I remember when I wrote my first book, my publisher said, well, when's the next one? I went, oh no, I've only got one book in me. I couldn't possibly write another one. He said, don't be ridiculous. Of course you can. But at the time I didn't believe that. And now I'm just writing my 6th book. So listen to your dialogue and ask your friends, do you refuse compliments? When someone says, hey, I hear you're the best seller in your company, you go, well, no, not really. You know, there's somebody much better, but they happen to be sick at the moment. When someone says, I loved your talk, I love your product, I love your book, do you diminish it and go, oh, I don't know how I did that, and actually it's only doing well because, or well, you know, it's really easy for you to put that together, so it really doesn't have value. Actually take a real long, hard look at how do you accept praise. If someone says, I really love your outfit, do you go, oh, I've had it for 10 years, I got it in a second-hand job, it's got a hole in it. If someone says, I really love the way you deal with your team, do you go, well, I don't know how I did that? Because praise is a gift, and when someone gives you a gift, you have to say, thank you so much. You see, you want to expand into not being an imposter. And let's imagine you're expanding, you're moving like that. And every time you reject praise, you're contracting back. Every time you say, oh, yeah, that was nothing, don't mention it, you're rejecting it. And something else we do when someone says, I love your business, you go, I love your business. Your business is great too. You're also rejecting praise because you're diminishing what they're giving you. It's like, imagine if I gave you a gift and you gave me back exactly the same gift. Hey, I got a Jo Malone candle for you. Well, I've got one for you, so let's exchange. But now I'm back to where I was before. And it doesn't mean that you can't give people praise. But when someone praises you, let it in. Say, thank you so much. I'm so glad you love my product, my business, my ideas. I love them too. And I'm really happy that you like them. And then wait at least half an hour before you say, by the way, I really love your business. Or send them an email later, but don't do that. You praise me, I got to praise you. You've said something nice, I've got to give it back. You really have to get into accepting and letting praise in to get over imposter syndrome. And you have to become an expert at praising yourself. And one of the reasons imposter syndrome has become prolific is because years ago, most of us had a boss who would pat us on the back and go, hey, well done. What I saw you do today with that client was X, and it was really impressive. And I think you handled that really well. But now if you have a startup and you work for yourself, or you're working from home, we don't get that praise. We become what I call in a praise deficit. And if you are not getting praise, that's a problem. But here's the solution. Praise yourself. Imagine you're a coach working from home and your clients don't always feed back because they're so busy taking in what you say. They might go, oh my God, you're amazing, but they might not. So you have to take a minute and think, what do I need to hear on a daily basis to free me from imposter syndrome? And we can all do that right now. Take a minute. What do you need to hear on a daily basis, even an hourly basis, that will free you from imposter syndrome? Think about what it is and then start to say it. You're amazing, you're magnetic, you're compelling, you have fantastic communication skills, you have phenomenal coping skills, you are so good with difficult customers, you're amazing at expressing yourself, you are a seller, you can sell anything. It really doesn't matter what it is, but identify what you need to hear and start to say it to yourself regularly. Because your mind doesn't go, well, why are you saying that? That's not true. The mind doesn't know, and it doesn't care if what you tell it is right or wrong, true or false, useful or useless, helpful or not. It lets it in the same way if you put lotion on dry lips, your mind doesn't go, is that organic? Is that fair trade? It lets lotion sink into dry skin. The fastest way to change negative thoughts and feelings is to change the words that run those negative thoughts and feelings. Imagine saying, I'm depressed or I'm exhausted. Change that to, well, I'm a little stressed and I'm certainly a little tired, but tomorrow I'm bouncing back. I'm out of control, I'm just a big fat pig and I'm eating like a train wreck. That's not even true. Change the words. I've decided to take action about what I eat, how I look, how I feel. I can't find love. There's no love. That's not true. You are surrounded by people that could have a loving relationship with you. How about saying, I magnetically attract love into my life. I'm warm, I'm loving, I'm lovable, I'm out in the world, and wherever I am, I could be in the store, but I'm attracting the love of my life to me. See, when you use powerful words, they send a powerful instruction to your mind. I can't do it, I can do it. I'm unlovable, I'm super lovable. I'm not enough, I'm so enough. Look at your negative words, flip them over and always say the positive. The words you speak are a blueprint that your mind and body work to make real. I ate too much, now I'm going to be fat. I ate a lot, I got a great metabolic rate, it will just burn that off. I didn't wash my hands and I'm probably going to get sick now. I have a fantastic immune system, it knows how to fight bugs and germs. You have so much power to feel good if you just decide to use better words. Listen to yourself. Ask your friends, hey, what do I say all the time? Well, you say it's a disaster. It's a nightmare. This is killing me. I'm so stressed. We don't even notice the words we're saying until we listen to ourselves. Oh my God, I can't believe I speak to myself like that. Somebody said to me, you know, I heard you speak. And it was so amazing. I've had painful feet my whole life. You know what I say every day? I just can't stand it. I can't stand it when my kids don't put the lids on jars. I can't stand it when my husband doesn't put his laundry in the laundry box. I can't stand it when people are late. And I stopped saying that. I have never had painful feet since. Because that was her blueprint. Every time she said she couldn't stand it, she couldn't stand it. Every time you say it's making me sick, I'm going to get sick, it's killing me, it's driving me crazy, it's making me insane, I can't stand it, I can't take it, it's too much, I'm so depressed, I'm so down. Stop it. Flip that over. It's a challenge, it's a situation. I am tired. My kids are a challenge, but they don't stay like that for very long. And anyway, if you have phenomenal coping skills, you'll rise up to meet every challenge. They'll still leave the lids off jars. Your husband will still leave his pants on the floor. But you know what? It won't bother you Don't try to change them. Change your words. I promise you it will change your life. The second way to get out of a rut is to really understand your primitive brain, your ancestral brain. We have modern bodies, but we have primitive thinking. And our primitive thinking is if you can't fight and you can't flee, then you should just freeze. And years ago we'd see a lion and we'd get into a complete panic. We'd either stand completely still or we'd run. And today we look at our inbox and go, oh no, look at all this stuff. And we can't fight it. And we can't flee, and we freeze again. We can't run away from a boss, a difficult client, a child who's going through an issue. So we freeze and say things like, oh, I can't cope with this, it's the end of the world. When you can't fight and you can't flee, you can flow by saying, this too will pass. Right now, I'm ill. And by the way, never say I'm sick. You're not sick. You have a minor illness. I'm ill. It will pass. I'm tired today. It will pass. I've had an argument with someone I love, but it will pass. Everything will get back on track. So remember, you are wired, hardwired, super wired to freeze when you can't fight and you can't flee. But that's from being on the prairie and being around dangerous animals, knowing if I stand completely still and do nothing like a rabbit in the headlights, I'm safer. But you're not supposed to freeze when you look at your inbox, when you look at your to-do list, when you look at your house, your chores, your kids. You're supposed to flow through it, to do it a bit at a time, to chunk things down, to say, hey, I can cope with all of this. I don't need to run away. I don't need to run. I can stay here and power through this because I have phenomenal coping skills. So understand your wiring. Understanding your wiring makes life so much easier. Another way to get out of a rut is to practice gratitude. Gratitude is the highest frequency that you can resonate at. And whatever is going on in your life, your partner is annoying you, your children are a challenge, your job is a challenge, your situation is a challenge. I want you to imagine what it would feel like to know that someone in the world looks at your life and says, that is my fantasy dream come true. I would swap places. When you have a kid that keeps you up all night, I'd give anything for that. You've got a husband or a wife that's messy or late or forgets your birthday. I would love that. You have to do a long commute, change trains, sit on the freeway. I would love to have a car and a job. So your problem when you see it as someone else's fantasy dream come true, when you think, what would you have given 10 years ago to have a home? Yes, things go wrong. You're a homeowner. You've always got your hand in your pocket, but you own a home. Yes, you have a child that worries you, but you have a child. You have love in your life. What would you have given 10 years ago, 20 years ago for this problem? I had a time when I was working on American television and English television simultaneously. I commuted every 2 weeks, go to LA, come back. My case was always packed. People say, oh my God, that's so awful. I'm like, awful? Awful? It's amazing. I have got a job on 2 television shows, one in America, one in England. I never saw it as awful. I saw it as a gift, an opportunity, a great experience. Plus, I knew it wouldn't last forever. You see, when something is permanent, it will get you. I got to commute to LA every 2 weeks. That would have been a challenge, but it wasn't permanent. I knew it would have an ending. It wasn't all the time in my life, and whatever is stressing you, if it has an ending, when your child grows up, when your boss stops being difficult, when you get out of the situation you're in, then it has an ending and it won't bother you anymore. The fourth way is to change the pictures in your head. If you wake up full of doom and gloom, I know I'm going to be late. I know it's going to be a disaster. I know they won't have the thing in the store I'm going to get. I know I won't be able to get parked. I know it won't work out. Why would you go anywhere knowing it won't work? Change the pictures. They'll have exactly what I want in exactly my size. This is going to work out perfectly. Everything is working out perfectly. Make better pictures. If you go to the gym, for instance, make a picture of your body loving working out. If your picture is, well, you know, life's so hard and life's so difficult, change that picture. I wake up in the morning and every day is a great day. There is always something to make my day great. If you have somewhere to live, something to do, someone to love, and enough to eat, you're already in a very, very fortunate place. So make better pictures. Be grateful for where you are. And finally, be kind to yourself. One of the major causes of depression is not a chemical imbalance in your brain at all. It is harsh, hurtful, critical words that you say to you on a daily basis. Please don't do that. Stop that now. If I could prove to you that your harsh, hurtful words cause you to be depressed and anxious and get in a rut, then surely you would stop them. If you spoke to a friend the way you spoke to yourself, oh, look at the state of me, I'm such a mess, I'm such an idiot, I'm such a loser, it all goes wrong, everything I touch I mess up, I just can't get this right, I'm deadwood, I've got rocks for brains, I'm so stupid, I'm an idiot. If you spoke to your friend the way you speak to yourself, they would be long gone. Be a friend to yourself. Practice kindness. Be nice. Yeah, I messed something up today, but it's okay. Tomorrow, I will do better. I learned something. I learned not to rush, to leave myself more time to practice, to be prepared. Today, I ate complete garbage because I was busy and I was at work, and tomorrow I know to take with me a can of tuna fish, a bag of nuts, a juice, a shake, even a powder shake that I can make up in my office because I learned something today. When I don't have the right food, I just eat candy bars. Tomorrow, I'll do better. So be kind, be nice. Today I was so stressed because I didn't have enough time and I was in a panic and I was rushing. Everything was going wrong. Tomorrow, I'll get up earlier. I'll prepare. You can only learn by your mistakes, so use these 5 tips, these 5 techniques. Be kind to yourself. Practice gratitude. Put new pictures in your mind. Use new words. And remember, when you can't fight and you can't flee, you can flow. Check out my next video here. Play the only part we've ever known, and then you make that part your own. Or you go, you know what? I think it's time for a new part. I was told I could never, ever have children. My whole RTT training was based on being told I couldn't have a baby.